Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Rekt Reviews, movies and entertainment analysis using the latest in beer goggle technology. And here are your dubiously qualified hosts, Erik, Paul, and Christopher.
And Shark. And Shark. Don't forget about Shark. How's it going, everybody?
Are we going to talk about Jaws?
I think we should at some point.
It's about time.
This week, Jaws. Timely.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
Well, welcome back, Shark.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. How's everybody doing?
Doing pretty well.
Pretty good.
We all got drinks this time.
Yeah.
We do all have drinks.
Everyone's off the wagon.
Everybody's off the wagon, and
The way it should be.
I've rejoined the ranks of the drunk and sloppy, so here we go.
Nice.
Welcome back again, then.
Truly welcome back. At least we're living up to the name now. Jeez, the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're...
Water with them and stuff like that.
Yeah. The conservative review.
There wasn't enough God in any of these movies.
What are you drinking over there, Shark, since you're back?
Shark is drinking the Delirium Nocturnum Belgian Ale.
Nice.
It's very, very good.
That is a delicious
very, very
beer.
smooth. Yes, it is.
More importantly, what are you wearing tonight, Shark?
Are you speaking of my cologne?
No, clothes, cologne, all of it.
Tonight, Shark is wearing something.
Who are you wearing?
Tonight, I'm wearing from the Shark's Closet Ensemble. It's about $5.99 altogether. That would be $5.99. The cologne is Paul Sebastian by Paul Sebastian. And yes, I do smell very good. If you could only be here out there in Radio Land.
This is where you scratch your smell-o-vision
Exactly.
tickets right now.
Smell of hearing.
I'm sure you smell fantastic, but I can't tell over Chris's. What do you got over there? Strawberry, vape?
I'm vaping on My Man, which is a Neapolitan-flavored vape, and it's to the very, very end. So I'm going to get Policeman next week, which is a donut-flavored
Is
vape.
that a glue bottle? What is that?
Yeah, he's sniffing glue now.
It looks like...
Okay, yeah, whatever you do, you have got to take a picture of the My Man bottle, and you've got to put that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Wait,
it is.
does Neapolitan mean like the ice cream that's like strawberry, vanilla, chocolate?
It's too much going on in the flavors, so it really tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
Sugar-
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, it kind of smells like it. And then, yeah, the bottle's what the douchiest thing you would think ever. It's like what you would think a vape bottle would look like.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a guy with a guy with sunglasses on and a beard.
He looks like Heisenberg.
Yeah.
That he does.
Rekt Reviews is now on Facebook, everybody, so you can see that picture. Chris will be putting that picture on Facebook a little bit later.
Yeah. Hot. So what's everyone drinking this week? We'll go around the table here.
Well, you're next. What do you got in there?
Bacardi and Coke.
Bacardi and Coke.
Zero, of course.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
Yeah, pretty sophisticated.
I'm drinking a Red Bridge gluten-free beer, sorghum beer, that tastes like beer at first and starts tasting less and less like beer with every following sip.
A gluten-free beer.
We'll get through it. We'll get through it together.
Do you have a backup? Or is that it?
No, I have 6 of them. That's my backup.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Paul, do you have a gluten allergy? Or
Maybe.
All right. Well, I have a Firestone Luponic Distortion, which is an amazing beer, and I highly recommend, if you ever see it, to try it out.
That looks cool. You got like a battling bear with a 6-pack on there.
Yeah, it's number 1 in the series. They're changing up the formula every 90 days, so it's going to taste different on batch 2.
Interesting. What's luponic? What does that word mean?
you got me, but
It's a beer. I mean,
It sounds like a very bad disease, like a combination of lupus and the bubonic plague.
I would definitely drink a beer called Distortion. though. That's got to be on my list.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So what are we talking about this week, gentlemen?
I've been waiting so long for this show. For
Haven't
this
we
movie.
all?
Oh, man, for this movie especially. I've been singing its praises since I saw the first trailer. I was all into it. And then another trailer came out, which showed me about, up to the 30-minute mark of the movie.
Right.
And then another trailer came out and showed me Wonder Woman and Aquaman. And it had the opposite effect. By the end of it, I was, middling.
from what I understand, if you take all the trailers, you get 11 minutes of actually footage from the movie.
11 minutes
crazy
of footage. Yeah, and it's it's pretty much every cool scene. So every time
Yeah.
I
Oh, really?
do a
Wow.
reveal, you're like, oh, I remember this from the trailer. I remember this from the trailer.
I like to make it a point not to see trailers. I try to go in cold, so I actually did
that's
that with this
smart.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, so you gotta.
It's hard to. Yeah.
It's very hard. We're talking about Batman versus Superman, by the way.
No, we're talking about Batman v Superman,
The Dawn of
the
Justice.
Dawn of Justice.
Right.
Because for some, I don't know why the S fell off versus. I would like to know why.
Yeah.
Is it cooler to say V?
cool.
I get the.
There had
The
to be
kids-
a focus
Yeah.
group.
Versus
Yeah.
is 280s.
Yeah, there was a focus group somewhere. They're like, versus or V?
Isn't
green
there a
button.
director named Mick G or something like that? Mm-hmm. Kill yourself, Mick G. That's terrible. Okay, just let's have your real name, please.
Yeah, that's our post every week.
This is from someone named Shark.
Hey, I did not give myself that name.
It's on
Some
birth
days we got to delve into that. How
You're
Shark
not M
got
Shark
his name.
though, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
M,
not M Shark.
M
I'm
Night
just-
Shark.
Yeah, exactly.
Shark.
Actually, it's Dark Shark. So
Dark Shark.
if you want to go with the full.
I kept calling you the
Monica.
Dark Shark a couple shows ago, and nobody had referred to you as Shark, and we get all quiet every time. I was like, the Dark Shark. And I'm like, that's what he calls himself, guys.
Yeah, that's
I just thought you were being racist. I'm sorry.
Everyone get all quiet. They're like, all right, man.
that's the name I was given. Chris is racist at other times, not with the Dark Shark.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Well, in this movie, on that racial card, were there any black people in this movie? Does anyone remember?
Yes. Lawrence
it was
Fishburne.
Lawrence
Fishburne, yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay, that's true. That's
Terry White. Probably the best actor in the movie.
Maybe
you know,
Miss Ben
him or-
Affleck.
Him
Maybe
or
Miss
Jeremy
Ben Affleck.
Irons.
Yeah. You know what? So I actually did enjoy Jeremy Irons as Alfred. Thought it was kind of
was-
cool, but
It's a different take on
it's a
Alfred.
different take on
Yeah,
Alfred.
he's like a competent techie.
He's a mechanic.
Yeah, he's
basically.
he's a mechanic. And why a butler is a mechanic and a techie, I don't know, but I don't know why this movie exists. So
Is he a butler? I didn't see him answer the door
I
at
don't
all.
think
he didn't buttle at all.
he didn't buttle at all, but I think it makes a little bit more sense with all that crazy high-tech stuff.
Right.
Is at least built by two people and not just
Yeah.
Batman and his butler.
So you take Morgan Freeman and mix him with Michael Caine, and then you get Jeremy Irons.
Yes.
There you go.
And this movie did exist in the from the trilogy, right? In the same universe, because they showed the Joker
I
thing
don't
in the
think
beginning, right?
so. I think it's a different one, right?
Well, they
No, there was
Because
something with the Joker.
he
They showed the
retired
Joker
at the
thing.
end of Batman
Where he,
Rises.
Didn't he have Joker's
Yeah.
costume in a closet or something as
No,
a trophy?
no, actually, it was Robin's costume,
Oh, from the
And-
comic?
and written on it was "Ha ha, the joke's on you, Batman," because the Joker killed Robin. So that's what
that's
that
what that
costume
was.
That's what
was.
that meant. Okay.
Yeah,
I was wondering because the Joker, it kind of looked like body armor, right?
yeah,
And
and that is
I
from the
completely
comics.
forgot
Yeah,
about that.
God.
So, all right.
That's what probably my most excited of this movie was that, and then the fight at the end with Batman. But anytime there was some serious Batmaning going on, I got all hyped up, and then all of a sudden Superman would come on screen, it would
And
just
just
fucking
ruin it
kill
all.
my buzz.
I would say if you haven't seen this and you go to see it, why don't go like an hour after the movie starts, because the first hour is complete crap. There's nothing there.
Well, guys, if you go after the first hour, you're going to miss the origin story of Batman. You'll have no idea what's going on.
That's right. 'cause we
Yeah.
haven't seen that
Because
a
after
billion
all,
times.
yeah, because
Why?
after all, they
How
don't
does
do
he-
that in every movie.
How does
Yeah.
he become Batman? I never knew this.
The best part about it is when it's in slow motion.
yeah.
It's just like
Okay, and also, why is it? First of all, it's always someone different that kills Batman's parents.
Was
Yeah.
it Joe Chill this time?
It was no way. It was just some random guy.
he also didn't rob them. He just shot
He
him.
just shot him
and left.
It's always the same scene. It's always her pearls falling off. It's like okay,
Yeah,
we
she's always
get it.
wearing pearls.
She's always wearing pearls, and so
Yeah, that was
and there's
definitely-
always the slow mo of the bullet clip hitting the ground.
Yeah, that
It's
was
just-
the first faux pas. Definitely is the origin story yet again for the seventh time that
Yeah.
you've
Well-
seen it.
Before we
Yeah.
dive in real quick, are you guys familiar with the comics that this is based off of or anything like
No.
that? All right, neither am I.
slightly.
Oh, slightly, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was going to be the Batman, The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, which is
That's
very
the one
high
that like
quality.
they say is influential. I think it's a. I think Tino just said earlier, like it's like 3 different stories. Or
Yeah,
something.
and all of them could make a great movie on their
Yeah.
own. So why they crammed it in, especially the spoilers, listeners
yeah,
out there,
obviously.
spoilers. It's the death of Superman in the final act
Yeah.
was its own movie, and that was the extra 20 minutes where they're like setting up their universe. But anyways, I thought it was going to be the Dark Knight Returns, which is great and would have made a lot more sense than what we end up getting to the titular fight in this movie, which I still don't know anybody's motivations. I don't know why they started fighting. I don't know why they stopped fighting. I don't know what Lex Luthor was doing. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so I get the whole Batman hates Superman thing because he thinks that he is like
reckless
and he's
too much collateral damage.
Basically, what Batman is doing is trying to make sure that if Superman gets out of control, he'll be able to take care of him.
Yeah.
I don't even think it conveyed that very well.
It didn't convey that.
It was
very
a little
well.
thin.
You had to reach for that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I think this movie is a complete mess.
It is. But I'll say this: I didn't hate it, and I didn't love it, but because I absolutely love Batman. Batman is the shit. So, and I think that Ben Affleck. I like the way Ben Affleck played him as this.
Me too. I didn't mind
this
him.
brooding, older guy who's just like, because Batman's actually shooting guns and shit in this movie, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Do not, like
which
that.
that was super.
You guys told me
off,
last episode that Batman and Superman don't kill anybody, and they just kill
and
everybody.
Batman was killing mofo's all over the place.
Batman was killing people left and right.
Yeah.
Not only that, but
that's what made the character interesting was his whole dilemma with that. I don't know.
But see, that's the thing. Now he's older. He's brooding, and he's like, I don't have a dilemma anymore. Now people have to die. So
maybe I guess if you see it that way, where it's like Joker's dead, everyone's dead. I'm done with all this. But in the comics, that's what made it so interesting was that, or the shows at least, is that Joker was insane.
Yeah.
He would even spare him, and it would piss off Joker. And that's what made him such a compelling villain. Is that he was so interested by this weird thing that Batman just would not kill people. He wanted to bring them to justice. And in this movie, he's straight up shooting guns at people. Like Trigger said, it didn't make any sense. It's the Punisher Batman.
What the hell are the flying dragons in the dream sequence?
Oh, those are not Death Eaters. They're parademons.
Oh, so that's an actual thing?
Yeah, from the comic books.
The dream sequences were some of my favorite parts.
Mine
just because
too.
they were completely
off the wall.
batshit crazy.
Yeah, batshit crazy. The first one was really awesome. The second one confused me because it went on for so long.
Yeah.
Where I was thinking, is this part of the plot? I'm
it
lost.
went like Mad Max almost. Like he's in the desert. He's got some jacket on.
All right.
And locusts are flying everywhere.
It got weird. But
I want to
thought
see
it was,
that movie.
I thought it was cool because it was taking chances. It was going out on a limb and putting some really weird scenes in there, and I dug it.
All right. So for this movie, I think we should take a different approach and kind of go beat by beat, since I think it'll give us a
try
chance
and
to
make sense of it.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I got a comment. Erik busted out another beer, and this one has an even awesomer label than his old one.
It's
Breaking
Brewing by. It's called Breaking Bud.
Breaking Bud, and it's like a Breaking
cool.
Bad logo with.
Speaking
of
before.
Heisenberg,
really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a Heisenberg theme.
It's kind of like a Heisenberg.
That's
meme
super
almost,
cool.
yeah.
Gotta love it.
Very, very cool. Okay, so it starts out like we said with the pearls, slow motion.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't need it, and then Bruce gets lifted up by the bats, which is the first kind of like, uh-oh.
That was the first dream sequence. I assume that was a dream sequence, right?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
So yeah, it was a dream sequence. It's when he started getting lifted up by the bats out of the thing.
I thought they actually rescued him that way.
That's where I was going to be like, oh no.
Yeah, that's when you start to worry. Oh God.
Yeah,
because if the bats were rescuing him, it's like I'm walking out of this movie right now.
Exactly.
Actually, the opening scene I really enjoyed was Bruce Wayne's perspective of Metropolis.
That's
when,
right.
When the fight was going down.
That was good.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Very,
that was
very
good.
cool.
Because everyone complained about in the first one, like Superman's wouldn't like they just totally ignored how many people were dying at the end of Man of Steel, but this actually kind of
brings that back
and
Right.
made it a specific plot point for Bruce Wayne. So I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, brings it back and then has some kind of that, which is kind of a trope now to have the 9/11-ish images of all the dust and then the horse running back and stuff like that. But it was cool to put it kind of very realistic.
It was, but did you notice that? So that was Bruce Wayne's biggest thing. He didn't like the way Superman basically destroyed the whole city and killed a bunch of people. But later on, he did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he was in his car driving around, he's just driving over shit and shooting up everything. It's like you're doing the same thing, just on a smaller scale.
Yeah. It's like the people who wrote this are tone deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then, that was probably my favorite thing. I was super hyped up at this point where it just said Metropolis. He goes into that scene from, I guess, the end of Man of Steel and shows his perspective. Very, very cool. After that, you go to the Indian Ocean. They're picking up kryptonite.
Yeah.
Really pretty scene. Looks beautiful.
18 months later.
Yeah.
They cleaned up that city pretty quickly.
And this is why I was kind of getting on board with this movie is like 10, 15 minutes into it, I'm like, there's like real images here, real sets. This isn't just like CGI cartoon bullshit you usually get for.
They spent a lot of money on it. That's
$250 million.
So I was kind of like ready to give Zack Snyder a break. Like that he's actually shooting a movie and not just the green screen.
Yeah.
Not 300 style.
Yeah.
Sky Captain.
Oh,
World of
God.
Tomorrow.
I don't think that was him though. That was somebody else. But yeah,
Oh no, but I'm just saying
that was green screen the entire time.
Sky Captain in the world of complete bullshit.
I remember sneaking in that movie as a kid. Okay, yeah. So he goes to the Indian Ocean. Pretty cool. I was going to say it was $250 million for this movie alone, and that's before marketing.
Yeah.
And there was like Times Square, was lit, pasted in these posters. So they spent a lot of money on this movie, and they made most of it back.
They made most of it back first weekend.
Yeah, but not a profit. I mean, definitely not what they were putting into it. Anyways, after that, we have our first thing, which is a terrorist cell in the desert. It's kind of weird. Lois Lane was taken
She's not a
prison.
woman. She's a journalist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like always those things where you're like, are the girls supposed to be fist bumping at this point?
Yes.
And so
Pretty much in every Superman movie, every Superman film that's ever been made, Lois Lane is always the most annoying character in the movie. I just, it's like whoever's playing Lois Lane.
Yeah, Chris, you hated her too, huh?
I hated her.
I can't stand Lois Lane. It's like, go away.
I don't like Lois Lane, and then Amy Adams really doesn't do anything for me. And so it was just weird that this guy, which was like the perfect-looking human being, would be with Lois Lane in the first place. Maybe she's had the best heart in the world or something like that. Maybe he's just not superficial or something. But besides that, whenever she came on screen, it would just drag everything to a halt.
I think
She's nothingness.
Exactly. I was like, what do we
I
do?
think a lot of potential for that character because that's like another main dilemma with Superman is, do I save you or do I save humanity? I don't know.
Right.
Right. That
so,
was
like-
a little bit of tension around that.
So that's what
A
happened.
little bit,
yeah.
but like her role specifically in this movie, I think is completely wasted, and I don't even know why she's in it. Really, I mean, what does she do?
She just, like you said, that
She's a
interesting.
damsel in distress in this movie. Is all she is, really.
She should have died so many times in this movie. She just is destined to die.
Well, she's bait. She's basically bait for
Yeah.
Superman to get him up on the roof towards the end.
Ugh, which is so hacked. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So yeah, the first thing, and it does bring up that thing where Lois said is a good point, where it's like, she's like, you can't be everywhere. It's got to be me or that. And so then that brings us from the desert where he saves her. The senator kind of sees his footage and kind of like sets him up, I guess.
So I have a question about that. Why does anyone think Superman was responsible for the shit that happened in the desert?
Yep, that's the first plot thing that didn't quite make sense.
Yeah,
Or it's
like
like-
everyone exploded or got shot.
Right.
There's bullets everywhere.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Guilt by association.
I think the script
He was
itself
there.
shows completely lazy writing. I think they were like, we have Batman versus Superman, so we can kind of just throw any other bullshit in there we want because the big thing is going to be the fight. So
Yeah, and they're just kind of
yeah.
mapping out like you have your end goal in mind, and how you get to it doesn't matter all that much.
because it's like I don't understand. Is Lois Lane supposed to be like this world famous journalist, and that's why she's able to interview this terrorist? Like she works for the Daily Planet. She's just a journalist for the Daily Planet. She's not, Walter Cronkite and shit. So why does she get the chance?
Well, especially because they show other news anchors in that.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
They also make
that's-
fun of like print media
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
they
like
do.
how it's not important anymore.
Nobody buys newspapers anyways.
And yet here she is interviewing a terrorist.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. It's like, okay.
Was there
And-
a TV crew there with her? I think there was, right?
Yeah,
So
the
I guess
cameraman was CIA. So
Dude, he gets fucked up.
Yeah, and they just even that scene is kind of just it's like okay, we need a reason for Superman to rescue Lois Lane. Let's put her in a terrorist cell, and she's interviewing a terrorist, and something goes wrong.
we got to make it real and gritty. What's more real and gritty than terrorist?
Yeah, and you know what? You have to have the suspension of disbelief thing, but you know what? When you have Superman in a movie. And guys are shooting at him. It's like that doesn't make any sense. Like you can't shoot at Superman. So if Superman comes to save Lois Lane, you just go, okay, here you go, because there's nothing we can do here.
That's the whole problem with Superman in general, I think. I mean, even with the terrorists,
Yeah.
that's kind of an interesting thing to kind of do, and it's funny just to see the comparison between the Iron Man, where it was so cool, in
Yeah.
the first movie where they had him in a terrorist setting, and then Superman, where it's
Yeah.
like
Well,
nothing happened.
Well, one's a good movie and one's not.
yeah, and let's just
that's a bigger
let's
problem.
just say it right
Yeah.
here. All that DC is doing is chasing Marvel right now. They're like they did the Avengers, so we have to hurry up and do the Justice League. and get them out
Yeah.
there. So that we
This
can-
movie
yeah.
would have benefited greatly from more setup, and I think
Less Aquaman.
Yeah. Oh.
Aquaman's only in this thing for a minute, and
Too much.
That was
already.
and we'll get to that scene
Yeah.
at some point. But man,
Okay, so then the senator says Superman, the world has been so caught up with what Superman can do that we've forgotten to ask what he should do.
Right.
It's this kind of artificial thing of trying to place some blame on Superman because, like Eric said before, why did everyone think that he killed him?
So what do people feel about Superman in this world? Like,
It seems like everybody loves him except people that actually had like friends and relatives
Yeah.
die and all the mayhem.
Because
Yeah.
there was a statue of him, so half of the people
Right.
see him as some sort of god, and the rest of them are like, he's terrible.
Right, so it's
he's an
kind
alien
of-
who needs to go away.
it's similar to the plot of Watchmen, which is another Zack Snyder movie.
It kind of is. It really kind of is. And you know, you have so again, you have a senator telling Superman, "Okay, you're responsible for this," and blah. So, what if he goes, "Okay, yeah, okay, I was responsible for it. What are you going to do now? Put me in jail?" I mean, what's about to happen? Or are you saying that you just want me to go away?
yeah.
Like I don't understand what the whole like they have him at a hearing, like something's going to happen. So they're going to blame him for this, and then he goes, "Okay, it was my fault. I'm sorry. Now let's get on with life." I mean, what's going to happen if they find him guilty?
I don't know if they had thought that far ahead.
Yeah,
the
they
writers
didn't
surely
think it
haven't.
through.
So.
Well, because in Watchmen with Dr. Manhattan, it showed those cool scenes of like in Vietnam of everyone just surrendering. When they
Yeah.
just saw him walking, it's like, damn, that would be cool to have just a god basically on
Yeah.
in your army, you know, and
Yeah.
then it would end all war. But then this one instead, they're like the morality of having this guy that could wipe us out, and at some point in the movie, they're like, even if there's a 1% chance that he could destroy the world, we have to take him out now.
You know that somewhere out there's a comic book where they had it where Kal-El actually landed in Russia when he was a kid, so he's not Superman for America, he's Superman in Russia. I haven't read it or
Superman's
seen
red?
it. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Explain the red cape.
the cape is red.
Super
Yeah.
comrade.
I'd watch that.
that'd be a cool movie. So then hearings, the next thing is, goes back and forth, and then they try and set up the Batman thing, where he has that, like we were saying before, the Mad Max dream, where he is in a trench coat in the desert. And I thought it was pretty cool after thinking back about it, where it's like Superman, I don't know why he would have henchmen, if he can do whatever he wants.
Well, this is the psyche of Batman. This is what
Yeah.
he's afraid of.
And he has I think this might be the last dream.
Oh no, there's the one with Kevin Costner. Let's not forget that one.
God, what?
God, that
what?
is-
That was more
What the
daydream
hell
that was the
vision.
worst one ever. But
What the hell was that? Like, why was that? Why
I
was
don't
that even
know.
in?
I don't know. It's the worst.
It was basically he is convincing himself all over that, really the only thing he needs to worry about is saving Lois Lane and screw everything else, because that's really the only thing you have is your chick.
I
Kevin
guess.
Costner was available.
Well, he was just saying that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
if you're a hero, you're always going to get blamed for something, or eventually it's going to turn out bad, which is weird because everyone in this movie just hates being a superhero. Everyone's just so brooding and so serious. Nobody's having fun with their powers.
That's all the superheroes too. It's like, oh, I'm having such a
Especially this
moral
one.
dilemma with this. It's like, then don't do it.
Well, this movie just takes itself so seriously, though. With all the dark and the brooding, it was just annoying.
It was like Shark said, it was trying to chase Marvel, and I feel it was also trying to.
But Marvel does it with a lightheartedness.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah,
that's,
but it was also trying to chase Christopher Nolan.
yeah.
yeah.
It was trying to have it both ways, essentially.
But Eric, that's where you and I disagree. I like the superhero movie being more brooding.
I appreciate them trying to do something different.
I think the Marvel movies are way too lighthearted. They try to be too jokey. Like Iron Man always has a joke right in the middle of somebody's about to die and he's making
Yeah.
jokes. It's like, let's stop, man. Dude.
I'm all for going straight dark. I just don't think it did it well.
Straight dark shark.
Like The Crow.
Like the Dark Shark.
The Crow. The Crow was like one of my favorite superhero movies because it was completely dark.
How does that hold up?
Probably not well.
Probably not well.
Not very
But, yeah.
well, especially since they redid it a couple times and they did a series which was just
There was
ridiculous.
a series?
Yeah, it was horrible.
way.
Yeah, it was horrible.
All right.
I think it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, and
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah, anything on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Enough
Did
said.
12 Monkeys series too.
Yeah. Oh God.
Was Spawn really serious? Because I remember seeing it as a kid and being really scared.
It
and
was
stuff.
really over the top.
Was
yeah,
it?
it was way over the top. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I just remember that one. I was like, that's kind of the first one besides Blade that everyone talks about. Like, oh, that's the real first superhero movie that started this all.
There was a animated one that was good.
Spawn.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was good on HBO.
Yeah,
that was really good. Yeah.
Ooh, I want to see that now. All right, so let's all take a break.
What did everybody think of Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor?
Terrible.
Terrible.
Oh my God. What?
Horrible.
I don't know. I actually like Jesse Eisenberg. I think
do
he's
too.
a really good actor. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but it was crazy.
The most over the top like bullshit. What was Lex Luthor's motivation? By the way,
I don't know.
I think his
yeah.
daddy molested him.
I don't know anybody's motivation in this entire movie. It drives me crazy.
So if his father molested him, why does he want to build monsters and kill
I think his
superheroes?
motivation is he's running this giant empire, very nefarious things. He's got weapons, deals with shady people, and I think he could just see which way the wind is blowing, and he knows that Superman sooner or later is going to get up in his shit, and he's trying to stop him.
They don't even really get into that. They're just like, this is Lex Luthor. He owns LexCorp. LexCorp does something. One of the things they do is make weapons,
and they have files on
and they have
everybody
on
the superheroes.
But it's really easy to break into their servers.
Not the superheroes, the metahumans.
Oh yeah, that's right. And they have the weirdest part is that Lex came up with their emblems.
Yes,
and ostensibly their names as well.
Yeah, he's kind of a nerd. He'll be into that.
Yeah, where it's like
he likes logo design.
Yeah,
I understand.
He's into it, but yeah, then this is where we're introduced. So then Bruce does a little bit of sleuthing and kind of goes to a party. He gets to be drunk Batman, which is always funny. Where
but like
one
so
marching too many.
I would assume Lex Luthor's lackeys probably don't know the big picture of everything, but they probably know he has sensitive equipment, like sensitive information on these servers.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Oh, that are right in the party.
Freaking Batman just walks in there, plugs his little thing, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, sir, you shouldn't be in here." He's like, "I was looking for the restroom."
Yeah, and why are his servers right outside the kitchen? Is what it looked like to me. Like,
good point.
It keeps the food warm.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. So
yeah.
and there's this big 6'4" billionaire just walking around kind of where he wants to. Nobody says anything, and seriously, can we have a better line than "Oh, I was looking for the bathroom"?
That's all he's got.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, I was looking for your server room."
Yeah.
Oh wait, I found it. No.
I was going to take a dump in your server room.
Yeah.
Was that not the bathroom?
Yeah. I thought the bathroom was down here where the computers are.
So another thing that doesn't make sense to me, and this is kind of like overarching plot, but Batman is investigating Lex Luthor. He suspects Lex Luthor of shady things, and yet he plays into his hands so easily. Like he doesn't question anything. He just like, oh yeah, of course. I hate all this stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, he plays it like a fiddle. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
As far as just being on board with hating Superman, just like
Yeah, like he just plays into his hands without questioning anything, despite he's like investigating this dude and like why is this thing so easy?
I think you might be blinded by the fact that the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. Like they're both against Superman. So
perfectly willing to work with that, but the movie didn't portray it very well.
yeah.
And so it didn't have this whole story that Bruce Wayne or Batman, whatever, is like kind of investigating Lex Luthor because he thinks he's part of this dirty bomb that's coming into the city.
Right.
But then that story that story just goes away. There's no dirty bomb. Yeah.
Well, no, he was
yeah, exactly.
like he was saying dirty
he
bombs.
lying about that?
He was lying to Alfred.
I think that was just like
he
his
knew it was
front.
kryptonite.
Oh,
It wasn't a
okay.
dirty bomb. It was kryptonite, and he wanted it to kill Superman, and he knew Alfred wouldn't approve, and he just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why would Alfred not approve?
Because I think Alfred kind of likes Superman.
Yeah, well, he says in there, this man is not our enemy. It's like, how do you know that? Like, maybe he is. Maybe Batman is right, and Superman is a lunatic.
Maybe Alfred is from Krypton, and that's why he can repair the Batmobile so well.
I like that. Did you guys like the whole thing with Lex and the Congresswoman?
No.
Nah,
I thought that was so cool. They had
I didn't
the-
like anything with Lex Luthor, period.
No, you didn't like
really-
the Jolly Rancher scene?
No.
I love that.
I did too.
Every scene that Lex Luthor was in was so annoying.
Yeah. Let me turn this painting upside down because that's where the real devils come from.
And the end when he's in jail and he's tick tock, it's like, what the hell is going on? Did they pay him for that?
God, that's like, how many takes did you, and that's the one you went with? Like,
Yeah.
like what's going on?
Not only that, but nobody was like, "Hey, you're kind of getting into Joker territory again." Like,
Yeah.
you just want to relax.
But like a very bad Joker. Like,
Yeah, like,
God,
just tone it down a little bit. You're
I
kind of
don't know what's going on.
Every part of this movie to me is like, okay, this scene is from Iron Man where they're in the desert with the terrorists. Okay, and now what's his name, Eisenberg or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
Now he's doing the Joker. It's like, come on, man. Let's be our own movie. And Superman, Henry Cavill, I don't like him at all.
You just don't like his face.
No, he's just bad.
He looks like the perfect person to play Superman.
I don't even agree with that. I don't think so.
But I guess other
I
than
think he
that,
looks like Superman.
yeah, he looks like Superman. But other than that, it's like, so what? You can't.
I think
yeah.
Erik kind of looks like a Superman type,
Yeah, I mean, we've all
I
got
don't
six
think-
packs.
especially when we do that eyebrow thing. That was perfect.
Yeah. I don't think Superman drinks Breaking Bud.
Yeah. Well, wasn't Nicolas Cage was supposed to play Superman at one time? So
Ooh.
anybody can play
Oh,
Superman.
That would've been-
that would have been.
I would. Oh God, I would want to see that movie.
I want to see that movie so bad.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute because I actually kind of like this movie, and I think the reason why is I was going in it with such low expectations, and I usually can't stand Zack Snyder movies. I can't stand the CGI shit, the pointless ultra violence.
You don't like Watchmen?
I love The Watchmen, but we've talked about this before. He was, scene for scene recreating the graphic novel,
Yeah,
and that's
true.
why he got
Yeah,
it.
this is
got
him on
away
his
with
own.
It. That was a very, very good movie, and he's very good with setting up visuals and,
Yeah.
and all of that. If someone else is doing the story and the writing for him,
I bet you the storyboards to this movie look amazing because he's good at like single frame shots and
yeah.
stuff.
So
But he doesn't know what to do with story beats.
yeah, and that's the problem. But in this particular movie, I gave him a lot of credit that he was trying. At least you could tell he's trying. He's trying to develop a plot and
A
some
for effort, Mr. Snyder.
and some tension, and like he wasn't just like throwing like the shit at the end, the radioactive mangina monster. I thought the whole movie was going to be like that, and when I realized it wasn't, that they actually have real sets and trying to set up a plot, I was like, okay, I can kind of relax and go with this, and I was actually able to enjoy it. And by the time mangina radioactive monster came along, it was like 2 hours into it. I was like, fine, you could do your CGI nonsense now.
That's where it definitely got into the Avengers territory, where it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
now we just
It was
want
like, it felt like a
Exactly.
different movie.
which is fine. But when I went into the first three movies of Batman, was like very much realistic. Even the Robin thing, which was like the ultra realistic, almost doing a lap on itself, where it's like, why don't you use your real name, Robin? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck you. You're so grounded that you're gonna have Robin be a cop. I get it. It's kind of cool, but like, and then this movie we have Batman with Wonder Woman, stuff like that. So it's a whole different movie, and it's like people have said up until now that it's a sequel more to Man of Steel than it is a Batman movie.
Yeah.
Which, if I would have known that going in, I would have been like Paul, just a little bit more
to me,
reserved.
Dark Knight is still the best all time
But that's
superhero
night
movie.
and day from this movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just as far
But
as
this is like Paul said earlier, it's trying to like play to that, and it doesn't work.
yeah.
Did you guys notice that? Because you notice how whether it's Christian Bale or
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck,
The dark Batman voice.
yeah, the dark Batman voice. But did you notice how that when Alfred was working on the suit, that's part of the suit?
Yeah.
What?
The-
Yo, I didn't get that.
I guess they
Yeah.
wanted to explain why the voice sounds so
Yeah,
silly.
I caught that. I was like, okay, well, I guess they're throwing that in there.
Yeah, I
'cause,
guess that was like a nod to like, yeah, we know the voice is silly.
Yeah.
But
Is
let's
that
have
to
at least a
is
reason
that to
for it.
disguise his voice so bad guys
I would
don't,
assume so.
don't know who he is?
But you know what? If I were to put on a Batman costume, I'd start talking that way too. So
Well, the cool. Well, that was the thing. Yeah, the last trilogy was so silly, and then he even does a shot where Catwoman leaves him on the roof, and by himself he still goes, I guess I know what that feels like, or something like that.
He's got to practice, man. Come on.
Which is like, you're by yourself. But yeah, so I'm glad
He's
that they
working
put
on
that-
it.
Yeah, I'm glad they put that in, because it's like, great, now he's just not doing his Batman voice.
let me say this about this movie: all things Batman to me are cool. So everything that Batman did in this movie to me was cool.
He had cool gadgets, cool weaponry.
Cool gadgets, the suit of armor. I thought the fight was epic. I thought the fight was cool as hell.
Oh, I hated all of
Really?
it.
What do you mean? The fight where he broke in to save Martha Kent?
Well, that was cool because
No,
he was
before that.
before
Versus
that
Superman.
the part versus Superman. Yeah,
Well, because that was from the comic, which was great.
That was from the comic, and I like the fact that they not only because Batman wins the fight itself.
Yeah, he was.
Batman kicks Superman's ass,
Yeah.
and he pretty much does it because he's much smarter than Superman. But the best fight was when he broke in to save Martha Kent because he beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Before the fight with Superman, I really liked the one scene where once he got him dosed with kryptonite and he's able to get on top of it and he's beating the shit out of him. And like the first punch that Superman really feels, he's like, oh, so this is what it's like to feel pain. And Batman tells him, you're not brave, men are brave.
Yeah.
I really dug that.
Yeah.
It's the first time Superman knew what it's like to get his ass kicked.
Because every other time he's like, whatever, you can't hurt me. Now he's like, oh shit, I'm getting my ass kicked.
Yeah.
So this is what it's like, kind of.
That's where you really got to dig in and find your bravery.
What was the motivation? Because Superman literally goes from being like, hey, man, I'm a god, basically. And he's talking to Batman like, they've got my, we're supposed to fight each other. And Batman's like, we're doing this. And it's literally, he gives up after like 10 seconds.
Why did he just open with, hey, he kidnapped my mom. Let's talk about this thing real quick.
Like, hold on a second.
He was trying,
And also,
but
why
he
did he
just
just punch Batman in the mouth? Because that's where, like,
in his open mouth.
I really did like the fact that, like, because he told him, Superman told Batman, the next time your signals comes up, don't be there, basically threatening him. And then Batman puts the signal up himself, and then the line he goes is, well, here I am. that was cool.
Granted, he waited an hour and a half.
Because Batman is like, you think you're the shit, but I really am the shit. So.
Yeah.
But he also had guns. Why did he have guns?
Because the guns were shooting little canisters of kryptonite.
Well, that was
gas.
the one that he personally had, but like the machine gun things that popped up.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because Batman...
Just to slow
Is that just
down.
for flair?
That because now Batman is a psychopath vigilante. He's the guy on the train. He's Bernard Getz.
Here was the really stupid part to me. So Lex Luthor throws Lois Lane off the building so that Superman will swap in and rescue her. Out of nowhere, somehow he just knows that she's falling off the building somewhere in the world.
He can
and
hear
he's right
everything
there.
but a bomb in a courtroom.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
his own mother
exactly.
being kidnapped. First, why was that not something that he picked up
Super
on?
fucking Lois instead.
Because he can only he can only hear Lois, I guess. I don't know. Like, again, and like in the same what I just about the bomb in the courtroom. Like, why didn't he hear that?
He said later, though, he's like, I was too distracted or
distracted.
something like that. He's like, I should have known. I should have heard it. I should have
That
known.
is terrible.
He was too distracted by his own
But
guilt.
see, that's the thing. Couldn't he... I mean, so Superman has flown around the world so fast that he changed the direction and he changed time. Couldn't he just grab Lex Luthor and wherever the hell his mother was, just be there in like 10 seconds?
That's true. Just
I mean,
grabbed him and done it all at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't know where his mom was. Because Lex didn't know where the mom was.
Oh, that's right. Lex said, I told him not to tell. Oh, my God.
But then, the terrorist thing, unless I guess maybe if he knew where she was anyways, and he knew she was in trouble or something like
She's
that.
got
'cause-
GPS.
Yeah, like did she hit a transponder and she's like the Superman, transponder or something like that. So he
Yeah, hold on. Wait a minute.
How did Batman find her?
How did Batman find her?
Oh shit! How did he find her?
If Superman and Lex Luthor, nobody knew where she was, how did Batman find her? I don't know.
Oh, they zeroed in on a cell from the white. Panda, the white panda. Or whatever.
Aquaman told him.
The white Portuguese.
Right,
or something?
Portuguese.
Yeah.
Portuguese breakfast.
Gosh, yeah. So speaking of like transponders, like I'm a little tired. This is just nip. I mean, this is nitpicky thing.
Yeah. I know exactly where you're
Like
going
the tracking
with this.
device on.
It's just boop, boop, boop. It's
yeah,
just
it's got a big
flashing
blinking light on
red.
it, and nobody sees it.
Nobody sees it. Yeah.
They love that
it's
in movies.
Like the audience knows it's a tracking device. Do you really need a big flashing light on it?
Giant flashlight.
Did you notice that every part of that car blew up except for
for that
right where
one?
the tracking
Yeah.
device was?
That's the big trope in movies where it's like the transponder being a huge blinking.
Huge blinking thing, but it's secret that nobody notices it.
Yeah, I would. And then, what do you guys think about the Batmobile fight?
It was dumb.
What?
Anytime the Batmobile is, it was good. I liked it.
Again, it was just like Batman's killing people.
Yeah, that was
Doesn't care.
weird. I was like, oh, because in the comics they make sure to like even do a thing where he'll shoot people and it's like
And then
rubber bullets or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then they had the standoff and nothing happens.
He's just like, don't be there next time. I love
Yeah.
that. That was a cool shot though of him ripping off the thing and Batman just standing there.
This is the first time that Batman is fighting a supernatural monster too, which is just it's terrible.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
It's terrible.
Where the first three
Yeah.
movies, it was like so grand, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, now there's other worlds. And
Are you
other
referring to
dimensions.
the Doomsday?
Doomsday, because see at that
He kind of
point,
pieced out for most of that fight.
yeah, well, because he was kind of hiding, but he came up every now and then. Excuse me. At that point, you have to be so. Batman, of course, is not afraid of any men. He knows how to fight and all that stuff. But I got to think that if Batman sees like a giant monster, he's like, all right, I'm not part of this because there's nothing I can do here. So
Yeah, cool shot of Wonder Woman throwing up her things, whatever those are called.
is it Gal Gadot? Is that her name?
Gal Gadot, yeah,
Hot, extremely hot,
extremely hot,
I liked
extremely
her.
hot.
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Not as hot as the drums and electric guitar that played as soon as she came on.
What?
That was
what?
so
Okay,
lame.
that was so bad.
Yeah.
It's like
I laughed out loud in the theater when that started happening.
It was B movie time.
Yeah, it's like- yeah, oh my God.
I think it was the guy from Mad Max.
Yeah,
The guitar player.
They might have as well had him like rolling
Yeah.
in the background.
Was it is it Hans Zimmer that did the music for this?
Yes, it was.
Okay, he flat out came and said like he's done making music for superhero movies.
Yeah.
Well, he
So-
did his best work in Batman. I mean, that was great. What
He did his
there.
best work in Beverly Hills Cop.
Was that him?
That was Hans
That's the
Zimmer.
theme song? No
Yeah.
way, he did that.
That's Hans Zimmer. Yes.
That's
Wow,
it's like the perp.
So they didn't explain Wonder Woman. It's like okay, this is
It's nice that she was in Metropolis.
yeah.
that
and,
nice?
And by the way, when did Metropolis and Gotham City become sister cities?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like, because I always thought Gotham was Chicago and Metropolis was New York.
Yeah.
So yeah, in this universe, it would be Gotham, Bloodhaven, and then Metropolis, I guess. Or
Where's Smallville then?
Yeah. Where the hell is Smallville?
It's like a suburb of Gotham.
It's in Indiana. Yeah.
no,
But like,
Kansas, come on.
like the Batcave and all that stuff. Did he have like a separate Batcave for Metropolis?
Well, he's
like,
got a-
was he driving back and forth?
He's got a bat cave everywhere because
Okay.
I did notice that that
Yeah,
kind
the
of
lakeside view. Place.
that's his new place because when he went back to the burned out house, that was Wayne Manor.
Yeah, which
And
in
now
the last
that's
trilogy,
which is in Metropolis,
I guess
because that's where they fought right at the end.
yeah. Or the Batmobile is just very fast and he can go hundreds of miles in mere seconds.
Because I like the idea of Batman, like it takes 2 tanks to get from Metropolis to Gotham, and so Batman's like putting gas into the Batmobile. I like it at AM PM. Oh, I love the idea of that.
People are driving by. Hey, Batman! Like,
I'm gonna get a monster.
give me 20 on 4.
Can I get my change?
So okay, let's get back to the Batman Superman fight because you guys all
Okay.
seem to like that.
So yeah, training montage where Batman's without a shirt,
So-
slapping around tires.
Why
Yeah.
does how come Batman doesn't kill Superman?
That was the
'cause-
best part.
Because
he realized
because
that-
he says the name Martha.
Yeah,
And
both
he
their
freaks
mothers
out.
are named
And
Martha.
both their mothers are named Martha.
Right.
Which now, so Superman, Martha Kent has always been Martha Kent. Batman's mother was not named Martha before.
Yeah, did they make
really?
that up, or is
Yeah,
that in the?
that-
I
yeah.
I don't
Did
know
they
the
ever have
comic
her
books.
Yeah, before it was like, because actually, if you watch Gotham, they say the name on there several times, I think, and it's never Martha.
So I just learned that the
oh
DC.
no, she's Martha Wayne.
I understand-
really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I just learned that the DC TV shows are not tied into the DC movie universe. Like they're completely different,
I
Right.
haven't seen any.
which
Gotham.
is interesting. I think because Marvel ties all that stuff in together.
Well, since you bring that up, let's get into the tie-ins with the metahumans, with the new superheroes, with Aquaman and the Flash, and
Okay, first of all, could there be a scene more forced than like, hey, here's an email with these videos. You should
Nah.
watch them.
yeah,
that and in the middle of the movie. I could have seen that as an end credit thing.
Yeah,
Would've
that's
been cool.
that's like that's what Marvel does at the end of their.
yeah,
Yeah, where it's
if
like,
they
oh,
had,
shit, you
if
know.
somewhere in the movie they had just mentioned that there are other metahumans, if they had just mentioned it, okay, then that's kind of a setup. When you start showing this video, especially the Aquaman thing. I was like, okay,
so silly.
That was so forced.
Flipping his hair around and shit.
Yeah,
It took him a long time to stab the cameraman.
Yeah. He
gave
him a good
because
look.
you got to get a real good look at Aquaman. Like, yeah, especially since it's the guy from Game of Thrones. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
is that
you
who
got-
it is?
Yeah,
Who was it?
I didn't notice that.
Jason Momoa.
Oh, from Spectre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him.
This would have been, not only was it forced because it was in the middle of the movie, but in the trailers, people already knew Aquaman was going to be in it. Everyone knew about Wonder Woman, so
Yeah.
it was no reveal. You're like, oh, here's this part.
Sounds like the trailers ruined this.
They really.
The trailers were the best part of the movie. They showed all the best parts. So you kind of, if you
Joke's
see
on
the
us,
trailers,
then.
you don't have to go see the movie.
And I've never really been a big DC guy, but these seem like the lamest superheroes ever to me. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The
Yeah.
Flash, they're just
That's
they're terrible.
That's really funny because the heroes themselves, like if you read the comic as a kid, when you read the comic books and if you watch the cartoons, it seems like the Marvel superheroes are more exciting. But Batman has always been my favorite superhero. Like
Batman's my favorite too.
Yeah, Batman is the coolest. So
Yeah, so he's the coolest superhero on his own. I think Spider-Man a close second for me, just because I don't know what it is. about
and they're
Spider-Man.
doing the Justice League. All I can think of is the Super Friends cartoon with the
Right.
with the Wonder Twins and all that bullshit. So I like.
Did you like the Nolan movies, Shark?
I did like the Nolan movies. I never was too up on Christian Bale as Batman. I never did really like him.
He's a great
that
Bruce
much.
Wayne.
He's a good Bruce Wayne. I didn't like him as Batman.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's fair.
I love that Ben Affleck was huge in this movie, just fucking jacked.
He was gigantic.
Yeah, which is cool,
But
I didn't like Ben Affleck. He was fine as Batman and stuff, but like when Ben Affleck does brooding, like dark brooding stuff, I don't buy it.
You didn't like Gone Girl?
But because he always has kind of a smile
He's
on
good
his face.
he's good like in Argo and stuff like that, where he's not when he has to like do this like dark reflection, like he can't
It's not.
pull it off.
It's not
as-
believable.
Yeah, he doesn't pull it
Yeah.
off like as some other actors. I don't
I liked
The training scene though, it's like so.
He's great when he fights.
I'm like, so
cool with
just so I can understand this, you're working out so you can fight Superman. Like that means some shit. Like
Yeah, no.
I don't get it.
now I'm really ready.
Like yeah,
Yeah, so then the fight goes down. Then we have the whole thing with Lex. He doesn't tell he doesn't know where Martha Wayne is. He says Martha. They're gonna kill Martha, which I thought was a really cool moment, just because it was Superman like at his most vulnerable.
what did you just say?
And then that's where it got weird, where it's like you're about to kill this guy, literally stab him through the chest,
Now you're best friends.
and now all of a sudden he's like, Martha, oh, I've been wrong about you. you have a mom named Martha. We're cool.
you have a mom just like me.
Yeah.
I kind of get it because like it's supposed to be like, oh, it's Batman reflecting back on the murder that made him who he was,
Yeah.
right? But man, did it not pull that off?
It was just weird.
Slightest.
It's just
Like it became comical. Like it's like an internet joke.
who's the screenwriter for this?
I would assume Zach Snyder. Let me check. real quick.
Because I get
No,
the
it's
feeling,
somebody else. I
There's
looked it
probably
up,
like
but I
8
forget.
of them. They're all trying
There's
to.
two.
I get the
hodgepodge
feeling he
it.
was sitting there at his computer and he went, okay, so how do I get them to be friends? And he thought about it for a couple hours and then he was just like, the hell with it. They have their mothers have the same name, and that's going to bring the two of them together.
All right, well,
It's just,
What do they have in common?
yeah,
what did you guys think of the Doomsday fight?
ridiculous.
Lame.
That's where it got crazy.
First of all, can I say it's nice to see the troll orc from Lord of the Rings getting work now because it's been a while.
Yeah.
that was so
Because that's what it looked like at the cave troll, right?
yeah.
That thing was the cave troll.
It was
What was
I've never
how
seen
did
Lord of the Rings.
Lex Luthor's blood play into creating
That's another thing
thing?
that
I didn't get it.
I don't know how he started that vehicle, or the fingerprints. But
okay.
why listen to him or
Why?
whatever?
Why? Yeah. Why did Lex Luthor? Why was Lex Luthor able to? Let's backtrack a second.
Yeah.
Why was the captured Kryptonian ship in the middle of the city? It was in a hangar in the middle of the city where
It must
everybody
have just
could see it.
crashed there, right?
I guess it crashed there, and they just set up
put
a
a
tent.
put a
Yeah,
tennis
they
court
just
around
put a
it.
tent over it.
well, that was the Jolly Rancher scene.
Okay, so then now,
Way
so
after.
They
why?
had time to build a statue. They didn't have time to move it.
Yeah, why was Lex Luthor allowed to go into the ship?
Well, he made the
Jolly
deal
Rancher
with
scene.
the senator guy.
Jolly Rancher guy.
Okay, the Jolly
He
Rancher.
gave him a Jolly Ranchers,
Okay,
and
yeah, and what was that not the gayest scene in movie history where he puts a Jolly Rancher in the guy's? I didn't understand that at all. So
was hot. Hottest scene of the movie.
It's broke back Superman now. I
would rather watch that than what I just watched.
20 minutes later.
But the ship computer basically said
that made no sense.
Like all the Kryptonians are dead. So would you like to be the captain of the ship now?
Would you like to move the plot forward?
Yeah.
That's basically what the ship said to
it said, would you like to assume command? It's
that made zero sense.
It's like getting an iPhone or something, you just gotta
this is what I liked about Eisenberg's character is he was definitely over the top and trying to be the Joker, but I kind of dug that he's, on one hand, he is this diabolical, super intelligent supervillain, but at the same time, he's like kind of nervous and very Aspergery, but kind of like trying to power through it.
But it's played like as a joke. Like it's not even. I don't know. Like
really?
Yeah. Like I didn't. I hated everything he was doing.
Everything, and even the line. Oh my God! Clark Kent meets Bruce Wayne. It's like, why would that be a big thing?
Exactly.
That some half-ass reporter. Some half-ass newspaper reporter is meeting a billionaire.
I assume because he knew who they both were.
He did, and at the end, because he started calling them by their names.
Yeah, I guess that's why he.
How did he know that Superman is Clark Kent though?
Because of his supercomputer thing, I guess. I guess. I mean, is Doomsday, by the way,
he
the
Googled
same? Does
IMDb.
he look the same in the comics as he did?
No, and Doomsday is not a monster. He's like a. Doomsday looks kind of like Darkseid does in the X-Men stuff, kind of like a cyborg. Yeah, it looks like a big robot.
And he's not like a brainless ogre.
Yeah, and what? So he. I don't understand why Lex Luthor knew. I'm going to cut my hand and put my blood on General Zod, and that's going to turn him into a monster. Then I will be in control of this monster.
I like that it tried to kill him first thing.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool. How then Superman saved him.
Superman saved him. Yeah,
that was cool. That was cool.
So how come Superman can survive a nuclear bomb but can't take a stake through the side?
Him
because it was Kryptonite and the
Doomsday's thing was kryptonite.
Yeah.
No,
his claw. His claw that like.
Isn't that
what killed him? Or was it the kryptonite?
Well, it didn't really kill him. It just put him out of commission for a little bit.
God, that was the stupidest reveal.
Yeah, that was dumb. But so. I guess because Darkseid in effect is a Kryptonian.
Oh no, he was
okay.
He had the kryptonite spear like within his vicinity that he stabbed Doomsday with. That's why he was.
By the way, you're supposed to throw spears, not
exactly. Why didn't he throw that thing?
And why did he could barely?
Why didn't fucking Batman throw that thing?
He could barely move when he got out of the pool.
Or Wonder Woman. She's Amazon. She can throw spears. Sorry.
He could barely move at all when that thing was next to him, but next thing he like grabs it and he's flying with it.
Yeah.
And a little weak.
See, and that's another thing. Superman is like even the tiniest bit of kryptonite is supposed to be able to kill Superman. He's not supposed to be around it at all. So
it's like gluten for me.
Yeah, he was like, he was like
glutenite
and everything. So like,
So that was another thing. It's like if kryptonite doesn't actually kill Superman, then what the hell does? Because when Batman was fighting him, he kept pelting him with kryptonite. It's like how many times is he going to hit him with kryptonite and he's going to go down?
I like that he fell for it every time, too.
Yeah.
Batman slowly loading the grenades, like, just shot one off.
And then, so the nuclear blast, it kind of just ages him.
That was from Dark Knight. That was cool. Because in Dark Knight Returns, that happens. And
so he
gets all weak.
He looked the same, though. Like, he got old for a minute.
He got old for a minute until the Earth's sun came out and rejuvenated him.
Yeah.
But, like, it didn't, like, tear off his flesh or melt his clothes, even. It just made him look older.
Well, his clothes are Kryptonian, right?
Yeah,
they're from what he was.
They're from Krypton.
It's his family's pajamas or whatever.
But Doomsday poked right into it with his fingernail.
That's what killed him.
This is kind of off subject, but
because he's from Krypton too, because he's General Zod.
Yeah, that's what Shark just said. So I'll buy that one.
Do you guys remember what was the name of that terrible Will Smith movie where he was fighting vampires?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Do you remember that when he was walking in like burned out New York City, that there was a Batman Superman logo on one of the buildings?
No.
Yeah, like they did a Batman versus Superman movie, and it was the exact logo that they had.
That was
now.
the end of the world. Was that movie?
Yeah.
We're in the end times, people.
This is
There you
it.
go.
This is
There
it.
you go.
Go to the grocery store, buy all the water you can.
I knew it would end with Zach Snyder.
Yeah.
All right, so final thoughts. I think I liked it.
I think they should vote.
Oh,
They should both fight Donald Trump in the next movie because he's a megalomaniac. So.
Can we talk about the
have
death
10
of Superman real quick?
Sure.
Like,
We have 10 seconds.
like it
Good
meant
riddance.
nothing, right? Like there's zero. It means zero things. Like
Zero, nothing.
Like the movie's like, oh, he dies, and that's why the Justice League is born. But it's horseshit.
Yeah, especially when you know that he's actually going to come back to life.
That
Yeah,
was-
there was zero stakes in that.
I was saying to my girlfriend when we were watching this, I was like, the end of X-Men when you had Magneto, that was what this movie was trying to do, where at the end of one of those, they shot him with a thing.
I guess we're out of time.
Overall, ladies and gentlemen, I would say go see the movie, but don't expect too much.
Yeah.
Don't go see it.
That seems about fair.
It's terrible.
All right, we'll be back in a week or two where we don't know what we're reviewing next, but we'll figure it out. We'll put it up on Facebook. We're also on entertalkradio.com now. Check us out there. We'll talk to you next time.
A podcast or radio show on WS Radio is a great way to create content marketing. Turn prospects into customers into raving fans. Contact Wade at WSRadio.com or call 866-WS-RADIO.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you have helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life, live it well.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of America's economy. Every Thursday, SBA Radio interviews industry professionals and is dedicated to provide small businesses with timely insights and innovations. Visit www.sbaradio.us for details.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.